The major opposition parties have faulted President Bola Tinubu's frequent travel abroad. According to them, the president is more interested in globetrotting than addressing pressing issues in the country. But the presidency said a leader who sought to bring foreign investments couldn't afford to sit back when the harvest was out there. In the past 18 months in office, Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima have embarked on 43 trips across 28 countries. The president is currently in France for a state visit. And commenting on the trips, the National Deputy Youth Leader of the PDP, Timothy Osadolo, described Tinubu as a globetrotting president. Osadolo wondered why the funds spent on such trips could not be put to good use to salvage thousands of jobless Nigerian youths. And to talk more on this, we're joined by Public Affairs Analyst, and that's Jide Ojo. Good evening. Glad to have you join me on the news.
It's my pleasure. Good evening.
All right, let me kick off by asking what you make of the president's trip abroad. Do you think it's one too many, or do you feel it's indeed justifiable?
To me, it is justifiable. It's like looking for daily bread. You don't sleep in your house and pray for daily bread to come and meet you on your bed. You need to reach out. If you are self-employed, you have to go out, hustle, and who knows, you may be in luck, and you have your problem solved. Nigeria is like that hustler. You don't stay in one place hoping to have manna fall from heaven. You have to reach out. The world has become a global village. International summits, state visits, and all other forms of collaborations and networking is desirable, provided it's going to yield positive results. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And the fact that we are spending perhaps billions of naira to fund these state visits, yes, it might be bad, mind-boggling, but we need to look at the bigger picture, which is foreign direct investment. As the last count, the administration is claiming, even though this cannot be independently authenticated, the administration is claiming that they have received over 30 billion foreign direct investment in the last 18 months. If that is true, I think over time we are going to start seeing the multiplier effect of that when those factories, industries, companies start citing their businesses here, or when we start seeing foreign direct investment portfolio coming into the country.
Mr. Ojo.
So I will not join opposition party to castigate the presidency. Just that I will say they need to err on the side of caution. The same day as the president went to France, that same day Vice President Kashim Shettima went to Côte d'Ivoire. I think they need to coordinate better. If the president is going out, let the vice president, who is the number 2 citizen, be at home. And vice versa.
Mr.
To
Ojo,
have the two of them out of the country at the same time is what I will not appreciate.
Mr. Ojo, just to chip in there, talking about the need for caution, I mean, how do you situate the concerns of people that these trips are being funded by taxpayers' money? Do you think there's a need for transparency on funds allocated to such trips?
Of course, I do agree about the transparency and accountability of this. But don't forget, my sister, every year huge sums of money are budgeted for travels. I mean, billions of naira. I think by next week, when the 2025 budget is presented to the National Assembly, you are going to see how much will be budgeted for overseas travels and local travels. It's not about knowing, it's about whether there is value for money. Because one thing is for you to know that 50 billion or 10 billion will be spent on travels, foreign and local. The most important thing is that what is the benefit of this funds being spent? Because as the #1 citizens and the #2 citizens, you don't expect them to be funding this state visit and international meet from their own private purse. It's not done anywhere. Even in other advanced countries, it is the states that fund such, unless they are going on private visits or family visit. Even at that, when they go on vacation, they still have the privilege of using state resources. But I think Nigerians should be more bothered about what are the low-hanging fruits that we can see as benefits of these travels. Do we have better security, healthcare system? Do we have gains, palpable and visible gains from these visits? I think Nigeria should be more concerned about that.
Now, talking about...
Yes, we do know, and as I said, we do know what is budgeted in the annual appropriation law, but we need to quantify that vis-a-vis whether what we spent is commensurate to what we get back in terms of trade and investment opportunities.
Mr. Ojo, just to follow your train of thought, you talked about benefits or value for money, I should say. What are the likely benefits or results of all these trips abroad by the president?
I mentioned it earlier. There's a claim, and I think it has to be fact-checked by the media, that over 30 billion worth of foreign direct investment has been attracted into the country. We have seen them in photo ops and some footages of memorandum of understandings that have been signed with different countries, even with France, which is the latest trip that the president went. We have seen some form of collaborations and closer ties. I was just, before I came online, I was seeing on the scroll bar of one of the TV stations, Governor of Enugu State, Peter Amba, appreciating the president for these foreign trips, particularly to France, talking about closer ties and trade and investment opportunities this will attract. And don't forget that each time the president travels out, more often than not, he goes with some ministers, he goes with some state governors and key stakeholders. There have been some of these trips that we have our business moguls also been on those trips. For instance, the UN General Assembly that was held this August and this September, we have a very large contingent that went there. And there are bilateral and multilateral meetings that are held. The point is that we need to be patient. Rome isn't built in a day, or was not built in a day, so I should say. The most important thing is to follow through. When there are memorandum of understanding, I think the media and civil society needs to track that. Okay, you signed this memorandum of understanding over 1 year ago. Can we have, what are the follow-up actions that are taking place in that period of time? Can we start seeing low-hanging fruits that we can point to as having been the positives from some of these foreign trips? No doubt it's not an empty purse for us, but it needs to be properly documented so that Nigerians will start to see in clear terms what are the benefits. It's not all about trade and investment. Sometimes it's also to go and sort out some issues in a diplomatic manner. Recall the very recent visit the president paid to Saudi Arabia. It was to join forces to call for world peace, particularly between Israel and Hezbollah, Israel and Gazans, Israel and Palestine, and Israel and Lebanon. Maybe I should put it that way. So that one is not about trade and investment. That one is about joining, aligning your voices to call for world peace, to call for resolution of conflict. Sometimes it's just to show there have been visits to kind of show.
I'm afraid we have to leave it there, Mr. Ojo. I'm afraid that's the most we can take for now regarding that subject matter. Thank you so much indeed for your insight on the news. Jide Ojo, Public Affairs Analyst. Many thanks indeed.
I should wish you happy new month in advance.